My upcoming fight is on the 13th of April in Atlanta, Georgia, UFC 36 against Kelvin Gastelum. Why would I be the next middleweight champion? I will be the next middleweight champion because I've said it and I've spoken it into existence and I've done the work to back that up. And yeah, I know destiny. There's something with destiny. The way the story unfolds in my life, the way player one plays the game, it just feels like it just makes sense. And it's not the end. It's never the end when you get the belt. Not for me, but yeah, there's too much I've done to back this up that it won't not happen. Yeah.
What is your take on interim belts?
My take on interim belts doesn't. I don't know. There's like a notion that it's not the real belt, quote unquote. I mean, tell that to a guy like Carlos Condit, who was the
A lot of hard questions, huh?
yeah. I mean, tell that to a guy like Carlos Condit, who was the interim welterweight champion, and he was running, murking through dudes while GSP was on a hiatus. And in his clash with GSP, he came up short. But I still consider him a champion. I still consider him the UFC champion. And I think it's just a notion that's been passed down, and people just don't think for themselves. They kind of just grab that and run with it.
What do you think of your opponent, Gaston?
I don't think of him. I honestly don't. I just think about me and what I'm gonna do to him.
What do you think about his strengths?
His strengths, everything can be his strengths. But sucking it for me. I'm a good striker, go grappling. I'm on a roll right now with my career in the UFC. Yeah, so I don't really focus too much on what his strengths are. I focus on me and what I'm doing, what I'm bringing to the table.
Are there any weaknesses that you see in his game that you want to exploit?
A lot of things. I can poke holes in a lot of things, but I'd rather just show you.
April 13th, 2013. I'm sure you heard this when the man won tough.
Uh-huh.
And now he's fighting for the title on April 13th. How are you going to ruin that nice little story?
Hold up. Let me check. UFC Fight Night, Arizona. Fight card. Hold up. No, not Arizona. 2018. Mm. Yeah, I fought the same night in Arizona against the fucking juice monkey Italian. So he can't ruin my story. That was about a year ago. So I'm just keeping that same energy. It's all momentum. It's significant for him. He already had a shine on that day a few years ago, and good for him. Now it's my turn.
Oh, so you fought on April 13th as well. Oh.
Yeah, whoop-de-fucking do.
How do you stay focused on Gastelum? You don't look past him to Whitaker or even the champ, all that shit. How do
I
you
do.
stay focused?
I look past him, but I peek. I see, kind of strategize. Like he's in front of me, I'm focused on him, but once in a while I kind of just when it's time. There's certain times you can't look past. But like example, fight week, I don't really look past. I stay focused, and yeah, that's how I've gotten my career to the point it has so far by prepping, chess, not checkers. I'm moves ahead, and the only way you can stay moves ahead is knowing what's next. So yeah, I still stay past and stay focused, but it's a balance. And I have that from experience. I failed at it before in the past, and I've excelled at it before in the past. So my experience just lets me know when to, I know when to do it.
What
This ain't
are
my first rodeo. This ain't my first rodeo. I mean, anything. My strengths can be anything in this fight. Um, on paper, he's supposed to have better grappling than me, but so did a lot of my other opponents, and look how that turned out for them. But yeah, paper can't fight paper, so we got to get in there and duke it out. And yeah, 30 dukes up.
What makes you so confident?
What makes me so confident is my will, my will, my just essence, what I've done, my experience, the work I've put in over the years. That's what makes me confident in these situations. Because a lot of people in my situation right now wouldn't even survive. They wouldn't even be able to shine under these lights. They'd melt like the fucking cakes they are. But not me. Nah, I'm built for this. I built myself for this.
You think there's a fine line between confidence and cockiness?
Yeah, but I cross both, and I get insecure sometimes as well. There's confidence, there's cocky, and there's fucking, I don't know, subservient or whatever, thinking you ain't shit. And I go between all three. I've danced between all three, but that's what makes me vulnerable enough to express myself to the best of my ability, to the utmost potential I can. And it's all subjective as well. Someone's confidence might be someone else's cockiness because they're a bitch. Just tune in because I mean, it's exciting. I'm an exciting fighter whenever I fight. I've never been in a boring fight in my life. I've never, knock on wood, been in a boring fight in my life. And this is history in the making. I get to be, the, middleweights interim champion and then become the unified champion in August.
What kind of statement are you trying to make for all the doubters out there? Say maybe you jumped the gun, maybe you jumped over the top five.
Yeah, I'm all hype apparently, so I'll show them why the hype is real.
You see this fight going?
See this fight going my way. For me, I see him initially trying to wrestle straight away off the bat while he's dry. He's going to try and grapple with me, and he's going to find out why that was a mistake almost instantly. So yeah, I welcome it, and he can go back to striking, panic striking, and then eventually he'll go back to wrestling again when he gets hurt, and it'll be all over.
He's never been knocked out.
Yeah, this is the first time for everything.
More pressure to you in this fight.
Nope, not even close. Honestly, like people keep asking me, like, aren't you nervous? Aren't you this? I'm like, yeah, it comes and goes, but having the belt on the line doesn't even bleep on my radar. It's just like, all right, cool. I get a belt after I win, like a fancy tiara.
Of your MMA career so far?
No, it's not the hardest fight of my MMA career so far.
What is?
I'd give that to the Silva fight.
And why was that more mentally challenging or physically challenging?
I think more mentally challenging. It was physically challenging as well, but more mentally challenging in the sense that I had to beat myself.
Guys in the bigger situations?
Yeah, I always rise to the occasion and I always overcome any obstacle in my way. So I'm built for this. I built myself for this, I wasn't born for this. I built myself for this through adversity I've overcome and things in life. So yeah, whenever there's a situation like this where it's like everyone else will fold, I rise.
What do you think about the rise of African fighters in the UFC?
I think it's telling of the times, It's like the times right now, a lot of, especially not just in the fight game, but in the world itself, a lot of Africans are starting to claim back what was theirs. The culture, that a lot of people try and jump on now. And for me personally, I was a kid who was trying to be like everyone else, especially when I even came to New Zealand. I tried to fit in so hard and it never really worked for me. I never fit in because I never looked like anyone from here. And over the last 3 years, I've kind of realized I didn't have to try and fit in. I wasn't born to fit in. I was born to stand out. So now I've been going back to my roots a lot, trying to reconnect with my roots and own it. So yeah, the rise of the African fighters right now is really telling of the times because I see the same thing in other African fighters as well in the UFC. They're really in touch with their roots.
What do you think the future of MMA is for the African people?
It's going to be crazy. I'm going to be retired by the time MMA becomes big, like super big in Nigeria or Africa, because when that happens, it's going to be a problem for everyone else. So I'm going to make my moves, make my money right now, and then sit back and watch them dominate.
Everybody talks about Gastelum, having power, but I'm sure you fought many powerful people in kickboxing.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has power. It's just how you use it, and also can you use it? Can you land that power? That's the question, especially against a guy like me who's slick.